What's up, Tyson? How are you?
I'm good. Are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for joining us here today. Finally, fight week. God, I feel like it's been forever to get to this point.
20 months in the making, so we're all glad we're here, and I'm glad I brought a good British weather with me. Nice and cold for Las Vegas.
You actually have a shirt on, a vest on, though, this time. Now, look, Deontay was up here earlier. Malik Scott, focused, ready to go. I know you don't pay attention to social media. You don't pay attention to what has been said. But he was asked about if he was going to be a more refined or a brand new Deontay Wilder, and he feels like it's going to be the reintroduction of him. Do you really, really feel that there's anything new in this amount of time that has passed that the world could see from him?
I think you could go to college and get a master's degree in nearly 2 years. So for a boxer to change his style is very easy to do. But no matter what Deontay Wilder does, I'm still going to knock him the fuck out. No problem.
In how many rounds, Tyson?
Quick time, quick fashion.
So get your beers and get in your seat quiet.
Like my trainer Sugar Hill says, we just bang and get it over with.
Now, let's talk about Sugar for a minute. Yeah. You've had extended time now to prepare and work with him. How good was it for you guys to have a little bit, albeit because of COVID, but once you were back in the gym, to just work on that rapport even more and on that power, like he said?
Yeah, it's been good. You know, we've had such a long time in the gym together. We've been on holidays, we've hung out. We've done so much stuff, Christine. It's been unbelievable. We chilled out in Vegas for quite a few months. We've been training the full time. Not had the fights, unfortunately, but COVID fucked up the world, so we'll see.
What do you make of everything, although you don't pay attention to it? You've been asked about it time and time again, about basically him not accepting the loss and there being a handful of other reasons about why you could have possibly won that fight. What do you say, and what do you think about that mental fortitude to not actually accept what happened in the last fight?
It just shows you that I'm living in Wilder's mind rent-free the whole time, 2 years. Every time he looks in the mirror, he sees Tyson Fury. Every time he goes to bed, before he closes his eyes at night, he sees the Gypsy King. And everything he wakes up and thinks about in the morning, he thinks of Tyson Fury. Even when he goes to sleep at night with his missus, he's thinking of Tyson Fury. You know, it's crazy. It must be crazy to be obsessed with a man like me so much in his life that... Crazy. It's just crazy. But, you know, I've not really made too much of what he says, because this time I'm going to put a knuckle duster on each hand, and then I'm going to go into the fight. I might even put double knuckle dusters.
A couple egg weights extra?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe I even bring like a steel baseball bat into the ring, maybe in my trousers or something. Who knows? Can't tell. Can't tell with the Gypsy King. I'm magic. I'm like Houdini.
Yeah. You've said that this is not round 1 of the third fight, but instead round 20. Yes. For those people that were under a rock or have not watched either of the 2 fights or are still even on the fence about coming out to Las Vegas and joining us, what can they expect from the Gypsy King in round 20 of this third fight?
We're just going to get straight on the front foot, straight at him, and start trading straight away from round 1. You know, Wilder's the biggest puncher in the history of our sport. But I've got the biggest balls in the history of our sport, as I've proved many, many times. It's going to be exciting, you know. Wilder's a dynamite puncher, and, you know, as we've seen over the last few months, we've seen the heavyweight landscape change so much. But I'm still on form, I'm still doing what I've got to do, and I'm the only undefeated world heavyweight champion left. The only one standing. Crazy.
I remember speaking to, this is a little bit of a throwback, but Andy Lee after he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And he said, when I hit Chavez Jr. with the hardest punch that I could hit him with, and he took it on the chin and continued to come forward, I was mentally broken in that fight. I knew from that point on it was over. You took 2 huge right hands from Deontay Wilder in the second fight. He floored you twice in the first fight, and you got back up. What does that do to a fighter mentally when you know you've taken pretty much everything he's had to offer and still won the fight?
You know, I've never experienced it because I've never actually, someone's never done that to me. But Wilder's still thinking about what happened in 2018. How the fuck did he get up in round 12 after being knocked out? It's like you hit a guy with your best shot, you knock him out, he gets back up, gets back into you, and then does exactly what he says he's going to do in the rematch. and takes me out, you know. So there's not much I can say. I'm not here to slate Deontay Wilder. He is what he is.
Oh, now.
Honestly, I think the guy's a real piece of shit. He's a real piece of work. And nobody or nothing will ever change my mind. When we was first going to fight, I thought he was a decent man, like a family man, you know, doing it for his kids and all that. But now I know he's a real piece of garbage, piece of rubbish. And I'm going to knock him spark out on Saturday night. And I cannot wait to get him in that ring and give him a good hiding, for sure. I might even take it slow with him. I might take it slow and punish him, make him say no mas.
Okay, a little no mas in there. All right.